Category 1, STAAR Test Review Worksheet. We got number and algebraic methods. Starting out with number 1, which expression best represents the simplification of this thing? We have two terms here that use exponents. This is a multiplying exponents problem. Remember, when you multiply exponents, you multiply the coefficients. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12, and you add the exponents. So for P, we have 4 and negative 2. That gives me power of 2. Q, negative 3 and 4 gives me 1, so I can either put the 1 or leave it off. Doesn't matter. There's my answer. Negative 12P squared Q, which is choice B. Number 2, we have which expression is equivalent to this big expression. We need to simplify this into its smallest form. So I see a couple things going on here. I see a distribution here. I need to distribute 1/4 into that first binomial. There's a negative 1 here I need to be careful of. And these are two binomials being multiplied to each other. That is a FOIL problem. So, two distributions and a FOIL. I'm going to distribute this first and get negative 2x minus 3. Then I'm going to FOIL first, then deal with that negative 1. So when I FOIL here, 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x plus 4x minus 4. But all that has to be, well, combined like terms there. I have negative 2 and positive 4 gives me positive 2x. So I'm running out of room. 2x squared plus 2x minus 4. But the negative 1 is outside of that. So the negative 1 needs to get distributed. 2x minus 3. So it gives me minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4. So I should do the opposite of each one of these because of the negative. Then I combine like terms. I have negative 2x squared, which I already know what my answer is going to have to be, but continue on. Minus 2 and minus 2 gives me minus 4x. Plus 4 minus 3 is plus 1. There is my answer. It's got to be B. Number 3. They're giving us an ordered pair, telling us it's a solution to this equation, and asking what is y. I know a couple things going on here. A solution has to be able to be correctly plugged in to x and y. They're giving me the x, but I have to find the y. So I'm going to plug in negative 1.5 for x. So I'm going to change this to 3 times negative 1.5 minus 6y equals 9. When I multiply this out, this comes out to be negative 4.5 minus 6y equals 9. All I need to do is solve for y. So add 4.5 to both sides. We get negative 6y equals 13.5. Divide by negative 6. And I believe we get, no, negative 2.25. Yes. Number 4, which of the following relationships is not a function? Not a function. I know a function is when none of the x values repeat. So if I'm looking for a non-function, I need to find x values that repeat. So on A, 1, 4, 2, 3, none of those repeat. On B, 1, 2, 3, 4, none of those repeat. C, I have 3, 3, 6, 9. I have repeating x values there. That fails the function test. That's going to be our answer. Just to check, D, 2, 4, 6, 8, nothing repeats now. We do not care at all about the y. We only care about x. You might look here and say, wait, but the y values repeat. The y values are allowed to repeat. It's the x's that cannot. Number 5, Volume of a cube is s to the third power. They give us the side length, 4x squared y to the fifth, so I'm going to plug that in to s. So I get volume equals 4x squared y to the fifth to the third power. This is a power to a power problem. I need to just apply those rules that we've learned. The coefficient here, 4, is going to go to the third power. 4 times 4 times 4, 64. And then the exponents are going to get multiplied. 2 times 3 and 5 times 3. So x to the 6th, y to the 15th. That is D. Number 6. Scroll back up. Simplify again. 90% of the time when you simplify, all you're doing is distributing and combining like terms. So I have a negative 5 times 2x squared gives me negative 10x squared. Negative 5 times negative 4x is positive 20x. Negative 5 times negative 12 is positive 60. All they are asking for is the constant term. Well, a constant term is a term without a variable. So in this case, it's the plus 60. H. Number 7 is just like number 3, I think. They give me the x. They're asking for the y. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently, though. Instead of plugging in the x and then solving for y, I'm going to kind of use the answer choices to guess and check. So, negative 2 times x plus 3y minus 4 equals 0. I know that is negative 4, and there's a negative 4 here, so I'm going to combine that to negative 8 plus 3y equals 0. Well, what can I plug in for y that gives me 0? If I try, I don't want to circle it because that might look like it's right. If I try f, negative 3, I have negative 8 plus 3 times negative 3. That does not equal 0. That's negative 8 plus negative 9. It can't be that. If I plug in a 0 here, negative 8 plus 0 is not 0. So it can't be g. If I plug in 8/3, I'm going to avoid that for now. I'm going to go down to j and try that. If I plug in 4, negative 8 plus 12 is not 0. It's going to have to end up being h. Just to make sure, plug it in. 8/3. Negative 8 plus 3 times 8/3, the 3's cancel out, and that gives us 8. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. H is going to work. Number 8, we have a beautiful little yard here with dimensions 3x plus 4 and x minus 7. They want to know area. We know that area is length times width, which is 3x plus 4 times x minus 7. This is just a FOIL problem. 3x squared. Outside is negative 21x. Inside is 4x. Last is negative 28. Combine like terms. In the center, we get a negative 17x. So 3x squared minus 17x minus 28 is g. Last one. Which expression is equivalent to this? Looks like a distribution in combining like terms, but the answers, they never fully simplified. They just distributed, it looks like. So, 4x squared minus 6 is when I distribute, leave the plus 7x minus 6, and it looks like that's as far as they took it. So, not squared, what am I thinking? I'm thinking plugging out foiling earlier. There we go, choice C. That is all of category 1. I hope you got all that down. I'm going to leave you guys on your own for these last questions. I probably answered most of them, though. Good luck.